Here's another little something I do every morning. I have a lime and just get right to it. Oh yeah, next slice. Invigorating. It's that time again. It's 4:45. Best time of the morning ever. Just got in for a little morning magic at the pool. At daylight savings time yesterday, so for some reason it feels an hour earlier. Woo! You know what this is? This is what happens when you forget to get coconut milk at the store and you decide that you're too lazy at the moment to go to the store and you put water in your Honey Nut Cheerios. So this, needless to say, is not the best bowl of cereal I've ever had. All right, so let's talk about something. If you have got something in your life that you have been dreaming about, that you've been thinking about, that has just been on your mind and your heart, and maybe you haven't even told anybody about it, but you've been thinking like, man, that would be a dream if that came to pass, if I made that happen, if I went out and did it. And the reason why you're not is because the question you keep asking yourself is, what if it doesn't work? That is the worst question ever. Like, if that's what's stopping you, you need to flip it around a little bit. What if it does work? What if it did work out? What if the thing that you've been desiring and thinking about and just kind of sitting on because you're afraid to go after it? Maybe you should ask yourself a better question, like, what if it actually does work out? What would be the implications? What would happen in your life? What would that look like? How would you feel? What would that do for you? What would that do for the people around you? Because if it's just a fear thing holding you back because you keep asking yourself like, well, what if it doesn't work? Like, what if it frickin' does work? What if it does work? What if you just stepped up to the plate and asked a better question and kind of put your neck on the line a little bit and were willing to take a risk? You got to be willing to take risks. You got to ask good questions. You got to know when, like, the only thing that's separating between where you are and where you want to go and what you want to achieve is right here. Right? Like, that's the only thing that screws people up is their psychology about it. There's so much potential in the world, so many things not being done because people aren't playing the mental game right. And I'm telling you, if you win the mental game, you're going to frickin' win in life. Obviously, you have to have some things in place. You have to have some talent, right? It has to be something that makes good sense to do. But most people just talk themselves out of things because they're so worried about all the things that they don't know how it's going to come together. If it's in your heart to do it, go out and make it happen. Put yourself on the line, because you know what, if it doesn't work out, what you're going to learn in the process is going to help you make the next run and the next thing you go after that much more effective, because you know yourself better, you know it works, you know what doesn't work, and most people are not willing to risk that. They're not willing to lose, and that's why they will never win. First up, limes. It's freaking busy in here today. Actually, it's like the middle of the day. I don't know what's going on, but these look pretty good. And the coconut milk I wish I'd had this morning. Okay, so I was gonna get more of these toasty oats, but I don't know if I can help myself. Look at these mallow oats. Oh yeah. Little marshmallow pieces. I probably shouldn't, but I'm definitely going to anyhow. And some chewy nut butter bars. Pretty good. Some spicy hot bean dip for tortilla chips. This is money right here, I'm telling you. It's freaking delicious. So I've been thinking about something a lot lately, and it came to mind again this morning because I was at swim practice and I was actually working with a coach that I had sought out to get just a different set of eyes and perspective, and we were watching some video of me swimming underwater. And what's interesting is, like, even if I watched those videos alone, I wouldn't have picked up on some of the nuances that he saw. And you know, this can apply equally to athletics. It can apply, certainly it does in business. I mean, the point is you need a coach, and a lot of people, I think, just don't seek it out. They don't seek out coaching because most people don't want to know what they're doing wrong. They want to think that what they're doing is right on point, and they don't want to have to make adjustments, right? Because change is hard. But you know what else is hard? Fading into oblivion because you're not evolving as the world does, and you're not making advancements and improvements so you can stay resilient and alive, and so you can compete at the level that you want to. And when I'm talking about competing, that can cross so many boundaries. You could be a parent that's just working to be the best parent that you could be, right? And any coaching that you can get there from people whose opinions they've earned the right to coach people because they've shown great results in their lives. And I think it's so critical, but most people don't seek out coaching. But without it, you're not going to get to where you want to go, or you're going to spend 10 years spinning your wheels when there's one little insight that somebody gives you in a sentence that can send you years ahead because it's a different perspective. It's a shift. A lot of times we can see what other people are doing that might be inefficient or is causing them trouble, or, you know, we can give them an insight that it's just easy for us to do that for other people, right? But to see it in ourselves is an entirely different thing. So even if you're incredibly proficient at what you're doing, to have an expert come alongside you and take a look at things with you, there's nothing that can match that, I don't believe. I think coaching is critical. I think a lot of people don't get it. I think they waste a lot of time, energy, money, attention, all kinds of things because they're just not asking for help, or they're not seeking it out. Like, that's the other thing. It doesn't always fall in your lap. You know, I had to work my buns off to kind of, you know, get help from the coach that I was talking about this morning. And I'm so grateful for his help. And I made sure it was worth his time and that I was adding value to him as much as I possibly could, because I so appreciate the time and the energy and the money that ultimately saved me to get that type of feedback. Same thing as in business. And if some of the things that people say is really interesting. One that I hear a lot is, you know, I can't find anybody, or I can't afford the coaching. And you know what? I guess that's just a loser way to look at it. If I have to be dead honest, I'm going to be. That's just kind of a loser's perspective. If you're a winner, you're going to find a way to get the coaching. And if you can't afford it, you're going to find something that you can afford. You can get mentored by people that you never even meet. We have the internet today. We have the prevalence of all this information, the proliferation online, and you can find it if you really want the information. You can read books, you can listen to audiobooks, you can listen to podcasts. There's so many ways to get in the hip pocket of people that are experts in their industry to sharpen and refine your skills. So please, 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 if you're not doing it already, get some coaching, all right? It's tremendously important. And just as an aside here, life is beautiful. Life is so beautiful. I just want to remind you today that there's so much beauty in the world around you. There's so many great things happening, and if you can't see it, maybe it's a mentality issue on your part. And if you would just shift perspective, you know, if you can't find something awesome and incredible and inspiring about life, no matter how good or bad your day is going, and like, you're not even trying, right? It's a beautiful thing, this life, and just to appreciate it and to drink it in and to feel everything you possibly can, and to, like, just the sun on your skin and the simple things. If you can learn to just tie into that kind of stuff, man, you're gonna experience so much more joy. So a little bonus rant here at the end. I was in the store a little bit ago and just watching how people move in a reasonably slothful manner. It's like, if you're gonna do something, please do it. If you're going to walk, please move with purpose, particularly when there's people around you. It's like there's no self-awareness to these people. Have you ever driven behind some of them and they're just like la 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 la? You see them walking around out and about, and it's like la 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 la, and it's not they're on purpose taking a stroll with their family in the evening at the park to relax and share time together. I'm talking this is the way they run their life, and it just drives me freaking crazy. Move with purpose. Move with purpose. Winners move with purpose. So I was thinking today about the importance of the balance between confidence and humility, because without confidence we're dead in the water, right? I believe that fortune favors the bold, and if you don't have the passion and the gusto and the certainty that you can drive and get the results and be effective, you've got nothing to play with, right? Like you can't even be in the game. You're going to get destroyed. And so confidence is something that must be built. It must be embraced. It must be present. And there's a lot of different ways to build confidence, of course. One of the simplest being just be competent at a certain skill set, right? Like the more competent a person becomes in something, if they're learning to play the piano, there's not a tremendous amount of confidence up front unless they have like zero self-awareness and they're just oblivious to reality. But assuming they have a pretty realistic view of things, they're not going to be tremendously confident about their ability up front starting, but as they develop more skills in that arena and they get better and they're practicing and becoming better at the piano, they gain confidence. And so that's one of the most obvious, of course, ways to have confidence. But one of the main things I want to address is that we can certainly be overly confident, and we get into arrogance and cockiness, and we become blind to, and almost impervious to a lot of information that's coming at us from the world, being like, hey, watch out, there's a cliff over there. And it's very easy to fall off that cliff because our confidence is not balanced by humility. And that's the second piece, because it's the tension between confidence and humility that really allows us to be the most effective we possibly can. That's when we're at our best. And so humility, of course, if it goes too far and we're overly humble, it's not even really humility at that point. It's just like overly self-deprecating to the point of, now I have zero confidence, so I'm completely ineffective, and I'm just telling people that I'm humble when really I just don't have any guts at all. And so, we're not talking about that extreme of humility. What we really want to do is strike a healthy balance where we are truly humble. And I think we're humble when we recognize that, because the confidence comes from recognizing something that we're truly great at, and recognizing and honoring and just owning our personal greatness. But humility comes from recognizing other people's greatness, and that we need other people, that I am not the master at all these different crafts. I look at people in other industries and some of the things they do, and I just have so much appreciation, because I'm like, thank God somebody is out there who understands cars and how to fix them and how to change oil. Like, I don't know how to do any of that. And it's especially inspiring to see people that are super masterful at that. And that's one of the ways to, you can really build an authentic humility that's very healthy. And I've been asked before, well, like, no, but like, how do you really be humble? And I'm like, you know what? Have you ever been to the ocean? I mean, who stands at the edge of the ocean looking out at the sea and is not humbled? Who looks up in the sky at night and is not humbled? I think nature is a great teacher in this arena, because you just realize how small and insignificant you are. And I think if you just stand at the shore of your life and realize how much is out there that you don't know and you don't understand, you're going to be very humbled by that. But make sure that it's balanced by confidence in who you are. So guys, that's kind of what I'm thinking about today, and I hope that came through for you. All right, so just grabbed a bottle of this Ecodamani. I think it's a pretty good white. It's Pinot Grigio. I am going to try this Ranga. I don't know how you say that, but New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. And this is actually one I've had before. This is a cab from Mendocino, California. Actually been out there before to work with some shelter dogs, as a matter of fact. But this is actually a really good cab that I just discovered, so I'm enjoying that. So just got back from some appointments and off the phone with some folks. Got about another probably hour and a half of work I want to turn in here before I call it a night. I think it's hilarious that yesterday I was talking about the difference between confidence and humility, because today this guy got a lesson in humility. I went and had worked with some professionals, need to keep my body kind of tuned up, and was just blown away again by the mastery that some people have of their craft. Like one of the guys, his name is Michael Scholl, and this guy is a technician. He does body work. I don't even really know how to characterize it other than to say this guy has helped me through sports injuries. He's kept me in great shape. I see him probably 4 times a year just for tune-ups. And he can pull from all these different disciplines and these methodologies to create something for you and keep you on track. And I just, hats off to him. Super humbled by the whole experience, as I am every time that I go in there. And my message is this: if you have folks that you have access to that are helping you, that are truly incredible, please show them appreciation, express it, right? Like, don't just think it, because I feel like a lot of people assume that these people just know it. And so not necessarily anybody really says anything to them, but that appreciation that they get, and for me, it's just like knowing that you made a difference is such a huge thing. So please, if you've got somebody that you're working with that's helping you, whether it's your accountant, whether it's your lawyer, whether it's the person, your physical therapist, whoever it is, please tell them thanks. Please let them know how important they are in your life and what they've done for you. Even if you think you've told them before, tell them again, tell them every time. Don't miss an opportunity to express gratitude to the people in your life that make it better. We're heating things up. Let's check out our tea wisdom. Let your heart speak to others' hearts. Oh! What's going on, everybody? It is Friday morning, and I'm so grateful for so much in my life. I know that practicing appreciation and gratitude is the antidote to every negative emotion you could possibly have, because if you have enough perspective on the matter, there's just no way that those things can stick around, any kind of negative emotions. And it's a great buffer too. You don't have to wait to be grateful until something's going wrong. You don't want to do that. I think a proactive approach in just counting your blessings and really thinking about them and meditating on them is such a powerful thing. If you haven't cried tears of gratitude within the last week, I don't know, maybe you should think about doing that. maybe you haven't spent enough time and focused energy on it. I just want to encourage people that you can really inspire yourself with making sure that you're right on point in this matter. And so please be grateful. We've got so many things, especially in this time and in this country. I mean, even if you're in the worst abject poverty in this country, which I don't want to make light of, but frankly, it would be like living like a king or a queen to people in other parts of the world in the lifestyle. So, I mean, we have paved roads, we have all kinds of things and blessings, and I think a lot of it is just knowing compared to what, and what are you comparing things to. If you're comparing your life all the time to how you want it to be right now because you're impatient or you're frustrated, which comes back to being impatient, maybe just gain some perspective on that, and maybe look at where you used to be. You know, are you in a place better than what you used to be? And maybe you're not. Maybe you're in a place that's tougher than you've ever been. But maybe look at somebody else in a different part of the world with none of the opportunities that you have, none of the things at their fingertips that you have, and that can really help. So wanted to tell you guys how grateful I am for you, how much appreciation I have in my heart for all the people that I can touch and reach and converse with and be connected to and hopefully inspire and bring tremendous value to. So anyway, love you guys. Have a great day wherever you are. Bye-bye. Here's another little something I do every morning. I have a lime. And just get right to it. Oh yeah. Next slice. Invigorating. Saturday morning. The aquatic center is not available, so this is the rec center. Not quite the same, to say the least, but you know, will definitely do. It will do. If you don't think abundance is everywhere, check this out. I just pulled this up to set it on the other table. There's change, baby. I'll take that. Some good abundance. This is, by the way, my least, or actually my really only non-vegan meal. Usually only one per week. Because this baby, hold on, let me get it. All right. So there's cheese and chicken and more cheese. All right, so this is where I'm going to be spending about the next 7 hours or so working on things. I'm supposed to be working over there, but I have commandeered the kitchen table and turned it into a secondary workspace, but that's okay. This morning got in some reading, then went to the gym, got in the pool, got in a good swim, and then lifted some weights. I'm sitting about a month out from the state championships, and so my yardage is pretty high. It's around 26,000 yards a week, which is high for me, somewhere neighborhood 15, 16 miles, something like that, and gonna start scaling that back. So instead of 6 days swimming, 1 day running, probably gonna go back to a 5 and 2 schedule, something like that, and just take the yardage down so I'm tapered and a little bit rested when the meet comes. What else? Business is good. Uptown Dog, Altitude Dog Training, doing great there. Bergford Performance Systems, kicking butt. Actually, the day after this video drops, I'm gonna be sort of officially launching the, it's a Facebook group, but it's called the CEO Athlete, and it's specifically for business owners and CEOs who also compete in athletics, and just a forum for us to get together and share and sharpen each other and share ideas. Maximizing performance in the business of life, really looking at the peak performance in all aspects. And so if that's something that pertains to you, you could certainly check that out. But anyway, that's kind of the status of things as of today. So it is a gorgeous day outside. Luckily, I was able to enjoy the sunshine, and there's like not a cloud in the sky. Gonna get back, do some work here, and just rock and roll, and hope you guys are having a great weekend.